Hello, everybody, and welcome to our Thursday night get-together, Weeds and Wisdom. Today is January 23rd, 2025, and we haven't even quite completed a week with our new president, and things are moving along well, I must say. I did hear today that the executive order or the instruction was sent out to all of the water companies that they must take all the fluoride out of the water. And I'm excited about that because that's been the source of a lot of damaging effects, including arthritis. I hate to say it, but it's been a contributing factor to lower IQs, autism. It's a toxic waste, people. They had no business putting fluoride in all the drinking water unless they were trying to do something to the people. So I'm excited about the fact that I'm not nuts and you're not nuts, and that people that have taken a responsibility for that have decided to do something about it immediately. We're not going to have to wait a bazillion years to pass through Congress. It's happening now. That makes me excited. So, future is bright. Anyway, tonight we are going to talk about several things, and I brought a few items for show and tell because we've talked about it before, but there might be some new people that we haven't talked about that with them before, so I brought a few aids to show you how to do some things. But when I was thinking about what to talk about this week, it's always kind of interesting because the sky's the limit. I mean, there's so many things to learn and know and do. And I actually have a hard time narrowing it down and like targeting something. But inevitably, something happens to me or somebody close to me that causes me to go a certain direction and look a certain way for certain things, and there it is. Then I have my Thursday night discussion. So that's kind of what happened this week. It's been very, very cold up here where we live. Very cold. Like, we're not used to this much sustained cold weather. It's been single digits at night, and maybe 18, 19, maybe 20 during the day. Now today, we had a heat wave. It got into the 30s, but it's supposed to drop down to 15 tonight. So what does this mean for Wendy? This means that I get to get up extra early in the morning and carry gallon jugs of hot water out to my animals and break up their ice water and give them drinks. And I do that twice a day because, it freezes again, and I've got to go back out in the afternoon and warm them up again and give them some more water to drink. And just like keeping everybody alive. So I was happy to see the sunshine today and a little warmer temperature, although the wind was very cold. So that being said, I feel like my body has been beat up. That's the only thing I can say. I've been, you know how sometimes, I know this has happened with everybody. You're out in the cold, like maybe you're having to walk somewhere in the cold, or you're having to stand, even just like pump gas or anything, and when it's really cold, and you find yourself like just totally tensing up. Well, that was what it was like for me for hours at a time this week. And my neck and shoulders, my back, everything is jacked up. And I thought, what is going on? So I started thinking about it, and I have a good solution. And I've been doing this all day with myself, and I already feel better. So we're going to talk tonight about a sweet little herb called Tulsi basil. Okay? I don't know how many of you guys know about Tulsi. It's in the basil family, but it's a medicinal basil. It's not so much the one, I mean, you can cook with it. It's nice. It has like a peppery taste. It's more of a lemony minty taste than, your real aromatic culinary basil is. Grows in a bush, a shrub, has pretty little pink flowers usually, but it is a kick butt adaptogenic. And we know what adaptogenics do. They help us out in times of stress. And sometimes that stress isn't so much mental as it is physical, which was my case this week. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about Tulsi. And I am drinking Tulsi tea right now. I dug around in all my stuff and I found my packages of Tulsi tea that I brought back from Nepal. And I dug that stuff out and I was like, oh, yes. So I'm drinking it by the gallon. I love it. I just completely forgot about it. I forgot I even had it. You know how we kind of get in a rut and we just have our go-to teas and things that we do and we forget. So let me enlighten you about Tulsi. All right. Now, it is, Tulsi has been around 3,000 years at least, I would say. It's an Indian, goes back to ancient India. But it works, it works on balancing like adaptogenics do. Oh, you know what? This is doing this again, just like this did last week. I don't know what the deal is. Hang on. Let me see if I can fix it. Maybe I need to bring this up more. Can you guys hear me okay? I'll turn that up too. I'm going to raise this up a little bit more. Everybody there? Whew. All right, hang on. My little stand gets weird. Okay, is that better? It's kind of darker, but I think it's going to hold better. Okay? Okay, so back to balancing our central nervous system, reproductive system, cardiovascular system, our immune system in general. Tulsi works very well in all of those areas as an adaptogenic. So it's a great one. It's doesn't just target one thing. So research tells us that holy basil, it's also called holy basil. So some of you might know it by that name. The benefits include naturally decreasing your anxiety and adrenal fatigue and dysfunction. And that's kind of what I felt like I had this week. I feel like my adrenal glands are just toast. And I've been kind of just on autopilot, but my body is like, oh, I don't think I can do anymore. I mean, it's been a weird, hard week on my body. But it also will decrease the symptoms of hypothyroidism, which is a sluggish one. And I kind of have that issue too. So it also will help balance your blood sugar, and it's a great antifungal. It works really well. There's been several studies where they have used it to treat acne. So that's something else. But they named it Tulsi back in the day because Tulsi means the incomparable one. And in the Indian cultures, in the Middle Eastern cultures, it is just like everybody has Tulsi. Everyone grows it, everyone uses it, everyone drinks it. They extract, they also use the seeds. Everybody has Tulsi. Kind of like we have peppermint, right? Well, Tulsi is theirs. You can use all parts of the plant. The whole plant is adaptogenic and it's all usable, which is another nice thing. You don't just have to dig up the root or, just use the leaves or whatever. There's like 3 or 4 different kinds. There's Rama, and there's, which is kind of a green and white Tulsi. And then you've got the Shyam, which is a dark pinkish purplish color. Then you have like the Krishna and the Vana Tulsi. There's 4 different ones that are used more for medicinal purposes. I'm pretty sure mine is, I don't know, this might be Krishna. I'm not exactly sure. But it's the stuff I brought back from Nepal, and it's really good. I love it. I'm going to make it and take it everywhere with me. So it's a natural protector of organs and tissues, and it defends against things like, hold on, I got something in my eye. Chemical stress caused by industrial pollutants. Hi, everybody. Good to see ya. Heavy metals, physical stress, overtraining, overdoing anything, which I think is what my deal was this week. Ischemia, which is like poor blood circulation, okay? And exposure to cold and heat, which is a stressor, and excessive noise. Interesting, huh? It also is a very good protectant because it has a very high concentration of these different acids. It's got eugenol, oleanic acid, ursolic acid, rosmarinic acid, which is also in rosemary, and a couple other herbs, carvacrol, and several others. But there's lots of really good systemic acids that are in Tulsi basil, and that's one reason it is such a seriously good protector. So, what's the difference between holy basil and regular basil? Well, there's like 40 different types of basil. Okay, but the peppery, spicy, lemony tasting is what you will find with the holy basil. Regular basil doesn't have the therapeutic benefits as the Tulsi. So you want to make sure that you're growing or buying the right one. It also doesn't have as strong a smell. That's one way you'll be able to know, because regular basil, I can smell regular basil growing half a block away. That stuff is strong. But Tulsi is much lighter. Like I said, it's more peppery, minty, sometimes even lemony smelling. It's absolutely wonderful. I like to tincture it, extract it so that you have a really strong extract. And that is one extract that I don't mind taking ever, because it tastes good. But the tea is really pleasant as well. We'll go into some dosages in a second. Okay, some of its benefits. Okay, fights skin infections and acne because it's antibacterial, it's antiviral, it's antifungal, and it's anti-inflammatory. It's all those things, not one or the other. So you could make a face wash out of a tea. You could add essential oil to face creams or whatever. I'm definitely going to start including it in my mouthwash formula because it's very good for dental stuff. I got some interesting stuff on there. It has an analgesic pain-killing property as well. So you could use Tulsi in some form or another in a lot of different venues, a lot of different formulas. It kills bacteria. So I think that's one reason it works really well on your skin, fighting acne or whatever, because it, anything bacterial that will break out on your skin, it will kill it. So remember that if you're struggling with skin stuff or skin infections of any kind of infection, but, it targets acne really well. Okay, the primary compound is eugenol, which is active ingredient in, it's the same one that's in clove oil. Okay, that same strong active ingredient that you get in clove, which is also included in my mouthwash for those same reasons. It's really antibacterial, antifungal. It's a painkiller. So you put some Tulsi in there as well, and bam, you got a good combination. Okay, let's see what else I can tell you. Holy basil also contains therapeutic components, including gamma carfilzomib, and methyl-eugenol. There's some good studies. International Journal of Cosmetic Science has got some good write-ups on Tulsi, and as far as the acne and stuff like that goes. It protects against diabetes. How? Balances your blood sugar. Okay? So it'll control your glucose levels. I mean, it's amazing. Isn't it amazing? It just blows my mind. I love herbs so much. I love what I do because I think about it and I think, you don't have to take a pill. Okay. Whoa. Hang on. Going down. My husband watches a lot of TV. And technical difficulties tonight. Fortunately, he watches like the old TV, like MeTV or, the old school shows, Leave It to Beaver and those kind of shows. But they still have commercials. And the commercials that come on, they're always, touting some kind of drug for some kind of condition. And there was one that came on earlier, and I was walking through into the kitchen, and I was talking about this drug you can take for ulcerative colitis and blah, blah, blah. And I stopped and I said, just get some slippery elm gruel mix from Crooked House Herbals, and you'll be fixed in about 10 days. You don't have to take any drugs for the rest of your life to fix that. And he just looked at me like, so I said, come on, you don't have to do that. But I really, really love the fact that we can fix things naturally, and we have it. We have what we need. We just have to know about it, right? And that's what I'm here for. Okay, I'm sorry, I got off track on that. So controlling your blood sugar, there's been lots of studies and clinical trials using Tulsi for measuring, and controlling your blood sugar. And all of them were positive. So if that's something that you really want to look into more, I would recommend that you do some research on some of the medical journals on Tulsi Basil. Okay? Holy Basil, Tulsi Basil. You might have to look it up from its Latin name, which is really big. It's Oseum tenuflorum or Oseum sanctum. You need more, let me know. I'll text it to you or email. Okay, another thing it does is combat cancer. Seems to be a common theme, doesn't it? Combating cancer. Well, what causes cancer? There wouldn't be cancer if there weren't all of the imbalances that we have in our body. Because when we're so imbalanced and we have, we consume too much sugar, or we have too much of this or too much of that. In my case, I totally believe it was stress related. The conditions in my life at that time were really, really rough. And, but, you produce too much of this acid, you too much of this hormone, and before you know it, you're out of whack. And I was out of whack for quite a while. So cancer feeds on certain things. The way my cancer went bye-bye was I detoxed my body. So for 6 months, I did nothing but the fresh juice combinations. I had this one little soup that I made that was basically a potassium type soup, and coffee enemas to help my liver, and that was it. But I starved that sucker right out of my body. There was no more cancer in my body. And to this day, I don't have to worry about that. But because I know how it goes. And so you just need to keep your body clean. And, a lot of people aren't willing to do that. And that's okay. But you might be paying the price somewhere down the line. That's all I'm going to say. According to research published in the journal Nutrition and Cancer, Tulsi and its phytochemicals, including eugenol, rosmarinic acid, and several others of these, may help prevent chemical-induced lung, liver, oral, and skin cancers. because, like I said initially, heavy metals is one of the things that it clears out really well. So remember when we've been talking about heavy metal detoxing, and that's something that needs to happen on a regular basis, probably every 3 months or so. I'm not always, I can't believe it. It's like, oh my gosh, it's time to do that again. The time just flies by for me, and I realize it's been 3 months, and it's like, oh, time to detox. So I'm not always as good with that as I should be, but I know that I should be doing it. So it's believed that due to the herb's anti-carcinogenic and antioxidant activity, which alters healthy gene expressions, induces cancer cell death, prevents blood vessel growth from contributing to cancer cell growth, and stops metastasis, which is the spread of cancer from one organ to another. So it literally stops it in its tracks. Yum. I love the taste of it. You're going to love it. Holy basil also seems to protect the body from radiation poisoning, which may minimize damage from radiation treatment. There's some journals cited there as well. It'll help balance your hormones. So if you're having, if you're having hormonal issues, drink up, guys. Just drink up. It keeps your hormone levels balanced naturally and helps manage symptoms of anxiety. So if you are prone to anxiety or nervousness or, any of those hormonal triggers, drink Tulsi tea. Keep it in your desk drawer at work. Take a big jug in the car. Tulsi has also been known to counter metabolic stress through normalization of blood glucose, blood pressure, and lipid levels. Also, psychological stress through positive effects on memory and cognitive function, and through its anxiolytic and antidepressant properties. So it just gets better, doesn't it? I mean, this little herb, it's so great. So kind of makes, when you start connecting the dots, I don't know if any of you have friends that are from the Middle East or haven't been able to travel in any of those countries or anything, but there's a few things you notice. And one of them is their demeanor. The other one is how white their teeth are. It's like they either have super white teeth or they don't have any teeth. It just depends on where you go. But I noticed that, and I'm not shy. I asked, I said, how come everybody's teeth are so white? And they laughed and they said, turmeric. And I said, turmeric? And sure enough, they brush their teeth with turmeric a lot of times, and it will whiten your teeth. I said, well, doesn't it turn your gums orange? I mean, I was thinking, but apparently not. I mean, no more than, I have charcoal in my Enchanted Whites tooth polish and my Wintergreen's Whites tooth polish. I put charcoal in it, and, when you put that in your mouth, it's going to turn your teeth black. But as soon as you rinse it out, your teeth are white, and it doesn't stain. So I haven't actually tried turmeric on my teeth, but might be interesting. Okay, 3 phytochemical compounds that help achieve these results are A and B, and which they've both been identified as anti-stress compounds, and they also lower your blood cortisone levels, there's a T in there, corticosterone, another stress hormone, and create positive neurotransmitter levels in your brain. So that tells me that Tulsi will cross the blood-brain barrier, which means it's a good one for your central nervous system. According to an article published in Alternative and Complementary Therapies, holy cow, you guys, this big, huge compound is also able to lower stress parameters in lab studies. It's big. I'm not going to bother you with that. To use it for anxiety, research suggests taking holy basil leaf extract twice daily after meals. So get some tincture or make your own. I make up my own. You can try drinking Tulsi tea or adding Tulsi to your meals. It can boost testosterone levels. And let's see. Some preliminary research in animals actually shows the compound called ursolic acid found in holy basil may reduce fertility by damaging sperm. So if you're trying to get pregnant, be careful with that. It relieves fever because it supports your immune functions. Basically, I'm thinking, so your immune system knows how to deal with fevers. And if it's functioning optimally, it'll let a fever go to where it needs to go, but no more. So keeping your immune system strong and in check, that's one reason you want to do that. Because we've talked about fevers, and we know that fevers are actually good in that they are if you have a fever, your body's fighting infection. And so it's doing its job. But sometimes it feels like it's losing the war. So you need to help keep your body hot. That's why I say drink diaphoretic teas, drink ginger, drink cinnamon, take baths. Don't put the ginger in the bath because that will hurt you. I know this. Drink and eat diaphoretic beverages so that you can, those make you sweat, and that will help keep your body, it helps your body fight a fever. You want to keep it wet and keep it hot. Don't go putting ice packs on you. It's the wrong thing, okay? I think we've all had that done to us when we were kids because that's what, my mom, I used to say, I need a cold rag. And she'd put a cold rag on my forehead and it would feel so good. But really, if you're going to do that, you need to set them in a hot tub of water. You need to keep your body warm and hot so that it helps fight infection. Okay, it helps improve respiratory disorders. It's got campheine, eugenol, cineol, which will help provide relief from congestion and other symptoms of respiratory disorders. Scientific studies have confirmed that this herb has impressive anti-asthmatic abilities and may make breathing easier, which is why it's commonly recommended for respiratory issues. So, diffuse that stuff in your house. If you've got some congestion or if you're having trouble breathing or if a family member is, put it in a diffuser and let it fly. It's a good source of vitamin K. You can get your entire daily requirements of vitamin K with Tulsi basil, which helps with your bone density and it also helps with your digestion. Two biggies. Vitamin K is an essential fat-soluble vitamin that plays an important role in bone health and heart health. It's one of the main vitamins involved in bone mineralization and blood clotting. So, it's good for cellular health. Vitamin K is. Which means it's good for your heart. Okay, here's the dental stuff. It says it fights bacteria in your mouth, which can lead to dental issues such as cavities, plaque, tartar, and bad breath. It serves as a natural mouth refresher and cleanser because compounds found in the leaves support a healthy oral microbiome, including by killing bacteria and germs hiding in your mouth. I wonder if I could make a spray. I think I could, and spray my dog's mouth. I am so gonna do that. Yeah. give her some Tulsi in the mouth. Using an herbal mouthwash containing basil leaf, Tulsi basil leaf extract twice daily seems to help reduce plaque and the risk for developing gingivitis. Also mouth ulcers, because they're viral. So they'll help take care of that kind of stuff as well. And even like oral cancer and that kind of thing. You guys excited about Tulsi basil yet? It's pretty neat, huh? Okay, here's another one, which was near and dear to me. Supports eye health. All right. Our eyes are susceptible to viral, bacterial, and fungal infections that can be very dangerous. Tulsi is commonly prescribed to fight against conjunctivitis, which is pink eye. Also anti-inflammatory. It has anti-inflammatory and soothing properties, so it's going to make it feel better. But it also helps prevent a range of eye issues like cataracts. And there's some cited medical studies here with that. Also, get this. Topical administration of an herbal eye drop mixture containing turmeric and holy basil extracts helps counter the oxidative stress and insoluble protein formation that lead to cataracts. So I don't know about you guys, but I put castor oil in my eyes every night, and I've also been putting it in my dog's eyes, which castor oil is very helpful to get rid of cataracts. It's easy. You don't even know it's in your eyes. Doesn't burn, doesn't do anything, doesn't even make your eyes blurry. But I just, I actually put it in my eyes. You can put it around your lids or whatever. So it would be really easy to add Tulsi and maybe the essential oil and some turmeric to your castor oil. Mix it all up and then put that in your eyes. Maybe. Let's see, what else? Oh, there's also one. Oh, here it is. I have two of these. It's especially effective for viral, bacterial, and fungal infections. Regular consumption can protect your eyes from damage done by free radicals such as cataracts, macular degeneration, glaucoma, vision defects, and ophthalmia. It's got my vote. It also reduces your risk of kidney stones. I hope you're listening, somebody important. It's a detoxifier, a mild diuretic, helps reduce your uric acid levels for those of you that struggle with gout. It also helps clean out your kidneys through increased frequency of urination. Acetic acid and certain components in Tulsi essential oil facilitate the dissolution of the stones. The analgesic properties of Tulsi can also help in burying the pain of kidney stones passing through the body. Everybody needs to have Tulsi in their house. It boosts your immunity. I think I've already told you that. For viruses, bacteria, fungus, parasites, all of it. Okay, what else did I write here? There's protective properties that are due to the high antioxidant. I think I already told you that. Vitamin A and vitamin C, there's a lot of it in Tulsi. Okay, so let's talk about how you can use it. You can use it as an essential oil, which is probably your easiest way to get it like on your skin, or like I said, maybe if you want to make that eye salve or something like that. You can take it as a dried supplement, but you know how I feel about that. That's always like my last choice. If you are if you've got thyroid issues, or if you've got, some of those other things, I still think you would be better off with copious amounts of strong tea or a tincture, because you can get more of the properties of the herb in less amount. But if you go to taking capsules, then you just have to supplements of that kind nature, you're going to have to really consider the source, know that that's all that's in there, and you know what I mean? It's iffy still. kind of, it's too early in the game to go trust in too much of that stuff yet. But the tea, you can smell holy basil tea and know, this is the real deal. So, and you know what? It's super easy to grow. It's like growing peppermint. Peppermint grows everywhere, you know? You have to almost grow peppermint in a pot because it'll take over your yard. Well, Tulsi is in that family, so it's very easy to grow. It's a perennial, so it'll come back, but it doesn't necessarily like the cold, so you'd have to bring it in the winter. But, you know, grow some in pots, and then you've got your own tea right there. That's what I do. I grow all my own stevia. I grow all my own stuff like that, and I just make my own tea blends. And that way, you know what you know, right? Okay. Regular consumption of tea as an essential lifestyle practice. It's a popular beverage in India. Yes, I know. Like I said, I found all my tea that I brought back from Nepal, and I had like 2 or 3 different zipper pouches full of Tulsi. I was so super excited. But you can make it iced tea in the summer. You know, it's nice in the winter. You could juice your Tulsi leaves, so you have that really strong, you know, extracted juice from the plant if you wanted to do that. There's a lot of different ways you can use it, but I like drinking the tea, and I do I take the tincture as well. I've taken it twice today, and I've been drinking tea all day, and I already feel better. So I'm happy. You know, another thing you could do is, like, I didn't think about this. I should have done this today when I took my bath. You could make a strong Tulsi tea and put it in your bath water and soak in it, because you do absorb more through your skin. And then, you know, you could get it into those areas that are really hurting. It's a thought. And it's also antifungal, so you could use it like for a foot bath if you were having some toe fungus issues or something like that. You know, you could use it in your foot bath. It's great for your skin. Okay, let's see. Yeah. Adding holy basil essential oil to your skincare regimen will also, you know, enhance your skin. Okay, here's some dosage ideas. Some studies have found that people who take low doses between 200 and 600 milligrams of extract each day can experience improvements like in anxiety and pain and indigestion, that kind of stuff. But if you need more punch, 600 to 2200 milligrams a day is recommended for some, you know, the serious stuff. And I'm thinking I'm probably right around 1,000 with what I've been doing, which is fine. I needed it. Great adaptogenic. Okay, let's see if there's anything else I want to talk to you about. Oh, here's a couple other things. All parts of the plant are adaptogenic, and therefore you don't waste any of the plant. You know, you don't need to pull the roots up. You could just cut them, cut the plants, and use the stems and the leaves and everything, dry it, and then grind it and make it into tea or whatever you want to do. The source of your stress, if you're using it for stress-related adaptogen, chemical, physical, infectious, and emotional, pretty much covers all the bases. There's some studies where it was used for physical stress, and it showed enhanced metabolism, improved swimming time for these swimmers. That was part of this test. Less tissue damage, lower stress levels in loud environments. Because I know some people are really sensitive to a lot of noise. And so this could be good for people, you know, that maybe are on the spectrum or, you know, have issues with noise. Tulsi. Okay, let's see what else. It can help improve your quality of sleep, which makes sense. I mean, that's kind of a given. If you are lowering your stress levels and your anxiety levels and your metabolism is balancing, you're going to sleep better. That's just a given. I'll let you know because I've been drinking it all day. Hopefully I'll sleep better tonight. It also helps with your cholesterol level. There's a 2018 study that found holy basil was able to decrease total low density, which is the LDL, and the very low density cholesterol in adults. So that's always good news. It alleviates inflammation. There's some studies on that. So I'm thinking you guys need to think about holy basil as part of your daily regimen. In the systemic review, several, which were short-term studies, found that it improved metabolic conditions like blood glucose, your sugar levels in diabetes, cholesterol, and blood pressure and hypertension, and BMI issues, body mass index. There's a lot of things that contribute to body mass index, so I don't know what aspect of Tulsi basil's characteristics is actually helping with that. That would be an interesting study to read. I'd have to look into that more. But it does improve stress and brain health. So attention, memory, focus, those kinds of things. I love the tincture for that reason. I remember when I used to teach at Job Corps, and I would make big jars of Tulsi basil tincture, and then I would take it with me to work, and I would take it all the time because I had to focus really hard at what I was doing at that job. And it was also calming. You know, it would help me. It's an interesting place to work, but it really did help me. My mood was very lifted and good with the Tulsi bit. That's why I said I can't. It's like God showed me this because I haven't thought about Tulsi in I don't even know when. And it was like I started digging through all my stuff. It's like, oh, here it is. So I pulled out my Tulsi tincture and I started taking it today, and it has really helped me already. And it's only been not even 24 hours. So that's why I said, okay, I know what we're going to talk about tonight. We're talking about Tulsi. Okay, so this is another sleep study. So, in summation, because there's something else I want to talk to you about. Tulsi basil is an adaptogenic, antifungal, antiviral, anti-inflammatory, anti-parasite. What have I left out? Bacterial, antibacterial. Covers all the bases. Fights cancer. It's good for your eyes. Help me out, guys. Oh, blood sugar, cholesterol, thyroid, kidney stones. Hormones. If you're going through the change of life, especially, this is probably a good one for you to start drinking and falling in love with. That and maca. So, Tulsi basil. And remember, it's holy basil. It's Tulsi basil. It's not the kind that you buy to cook with. Okay? It's different. Okay, briefly, I want to talk once again, because this is another herb extract that I have been using today because I have had this really whacked out headache. Hold on one second. Those of you that know me know that I get the weather headache. And when fronts move in and move out, I die until they're done. So I dug around again, and I found my Vika Wild, which is a combination of wild lettuce, stinging nettle, and willow bark, okay? which is like 3 different pain relievers. And I took that today, and in about 40 minutes, my headache was subdued. Let's put it that way. So then I started drinking the Tulsi tea, and it's almost completely gone. But the main one I want to talk about is wild lettuce, because pretty soon, in the not too distant future, it's going to start coming up. And I don't know if any of you guys know about wild lettuce, but it's also called prickly lettuce. It's got a whole bunch of weird names. Bitter lettuce, poisonous lettuce, opium lettuce, horse thistle, compass plant. It's got a lot of different names, but it starts out like with a little rosette, and it's got these prickly leaves, and then it'll grow tall, and it's got a latex that runs in the stem and in the leaves that is magic. I mean, the stuff is like natural morphine. And I like to it literally grows wild. I have to mow it down with my lawnmower because it'll reseed itself, and it shows up everywhere. And I'm always so happy because I have plenty of wild lettuce. But you'll want to let it get to a reasonable height, but before it starts to, go to seed, you want to get it at its maximum energy, and then cut it and dry it and grind it up. I tincture it, and I also save some for tea. The latex, there's lots of different processes you can do, but I have found that a lot of it is just a bunch of extra steps that you don't need to use. You can still get as good or better effect by just doing what I just said. Just cut the plants, dry them, and then tincture them, or chop them up and use them as tea. If you're going to use the tea, I remember this one lady came to one of my workshops, and she was in so much pain. She had a really bad back condition, and I was teaching about wild lettuce that week, and so I gave everybody a wild lettuce tea bag before they left. Well, like 3 hours later, she called me, and she said, "Oh my gosh," she said, "I took that tea bag and I let it steep for a really long time. It was like 30 minutes. I let it get really strong, and I drank that." She said, "My back doesn't hurt at all. I have got to have more of this." So fortunately, up where I live especially, it's easy to find. It likes the sun. It's going to be out in the open, in fields, by the roads. You'll be able to find it. It's kind of like mullein. It grows pretty much everywhere. But this stuff is amazing. I've never tried. There's one thing I am going to try this year, just for fun. If I don't show up one week, you'll know I did myself in. But I think what I'm going to try this year is I'm just going to cut, and I'm going to squeeze out some of that latex, and I'm just going to eat it. I'll wait till I have a really bad headache or something, and then I'll eat the latex just straight out of the plant and see what that does to me. Because I haven't ever done that. I've always, dried it all and done that. But that's what I think I'm going to try this year. I always try on me before I tell you to do it. So don't worry. I won't ever tell you to do anything I haven't done. Okay? And obviously I'm living and here to tell you that it worked or it didn't work. But I am going to try that. So the leaves, they'll be, they can be anywhere from 6 to 18 inches long. This can be a rather sizable plant, 10 feet tall if you let it get that tall. So more than likely you won't, because you'll probably want to cut it before it flowers. But it gets a pretty yellow flower on it, and then it'll reseed. But a little backstory on wild lettuce. It was used in the 19th century by physicians when opium couldn't be obtained. It was studied extensively by the Council of Pharmaceutical Society of Great Britain in 1911. They discovered 2 chemicals responsible for the properties of wild lettuce. In the United States, the plant experienced resurgence in popularity in the 70s. Today, the plant is unscheduled by the Food and Drug Administration, meaning it is illegal to grow, purchase, and own without prescription or license. But that's how good it is. If they could figure out a way to regulate it, they would, but they can't. It's an herb which is not considered a vegetable like the common green lettuce. Wild lettuce is more popular for its opium-like effects due to its sedative and psychotropic properties. And I don't know, I've never really had any psychotropic properties, but it will kind of make you sleepy sometimes. I didn't feel sleepy today when I took it, but I've been drinking Tulsi tea all day too, so I don't know, maybe that's part of it. But it will. I also took it in my Vicodin. My VicaWild. So I had the stinging nettle and I had the willow bark in there as well. It wasn't just straight wild lettuce, but I do have clients who take wild lettuce at night. They take wild lettuce and kava to sleep a lot of times. So it will, give you a good sedative effect if that's what you need. It is believed that ancient Greeks and Romans used this herb as a food crop. Wild lettuce has a few health-related benefits, but it is a great pain reliever. So if you're looking for a painkiller that you can have, that is good, and it's not something that you're going to wonder about, get some wild lettuce growing in your yard. It reduces, so this is another one that crosses the blood-brain barrier, and it's really helpful for your central nervous system. Hang on a second. Somebody's asking me a question. Nasal polyps. I have created this spray called Lemon Bliss that is really good because it's antibacterial. What you want is antibacterial. So oregano, lemon, Tulsi. I've got several of those things in my Lemon Bliss spray, nasal spray. I created that because my son gets nasal polyps a lot. In fact, he's had surgeries, 2 or 3 of them. So this way it keeps the bacteria down and you don't grow them. You won't get them. My other sinus spray works really great, but my husband says, when he tells me to go use my nose spray, he says, just go blow your head off. Because it's got cayenne pepper in it, and you just stand there for a minute. It takes a few minutes for you to realize what you've just done. But you know what? 15 minutes later, my head is good, and it'll clear it out. But it's got the cayenne pepper, which brings the blood where it needs to go. It's got the bayberry bark, which shrinks all the swollen tissues. It's got golden seal, which is an antibiotic. It's a great nasal spray, but it does take some intestinal fortitude. But the Lemon Bliss isn't as bad. Crystal says it's not for sissies, but it's for desperate people. And I have sinus issues, and so I created that basically for me, and I use it a lot. I have it in my purse, and I have it in my medicine cabinet. I will not recommend ever doing that. Don't ever use it when you're driving. I did that once, and my eyes watered, and I had to pull over until, it's a good 60 seconds that you have to just let it do its thing, and then you're fine. Blow your nose or do whatever, and you're good. But keeps things clean, and it's got that golden seal in there, which is an antibiotic. So if you're messing with infections, it takes care of that too. Someone's laughing. It's not funny, but it is funny. One of my clients calls it the death spray, but they order refills. They order it by the like 4-ounce refills, so they can just refill. They love it, but that's what they call it. Yeah, it's it's not for the faint-hearted, but it is good. So hopefully that is helpful. Okay, what else am I talking about? Oh, I was talking about wild lettuce. Okay, arteriosclerosis is a condition in which the arteries become thick and stiff. Means your blood pressure is messed up. It'll usually increase. Your tissues get restricted. This happens due to cholesterol and stuff that gets accumulated. Our bodies produce cholesterol, and cholesterol is not the devil. But sometimes when you are, you don't have a balanced diet and you're not, your body's not in balance, you will have too much cholesterol, and that does contribute to the goo. Okay, it's just the goo. And the seed oil of wild lettuce actually helps your arteries regain their flexibility and their elasticity. So that's one thing that I don't think a lot of people know about wild lettuce. It's also used in the treatment of urinary tract infections. Okay? It's a good diuretic. It's used to treat respiratory issues. It's a natural treatment for asthma and coughs. It also brings down the irritation of the bronchial tubes and the lungs. It's very soothing. I think that latex is the magic stuff. It'll really help with asthma, people that are having trouble breathing, whooping cough, bronchitis, any of those things. Let's see what else. Soothes stress and anxiety. Like I said, it'll act as a sedative at times. A great pain reliever. It's good for anxiety. I mean, it's a good one. It's really good for treating like chapped skin. You know, if you mix a little bit of that tincture or whatever into some castor oil or coconut oil or something, it will help with dry chapped skin. It helps with migraines and other types of headaches. A cup of wild lettuce tea ebbs a headache amazingly fast. And the tincture is also effective. So I used the wild lettuce today, and then I drank Tulsi tea all day, and I'm telling you, I am a happy camper. So I wanted to share with you. It helps, what else? Good sedative, whooping cough, dry cough. The sap contains lactucarium, which is used in medicine for its anodyne, antispasmodic, digestive, diuretic, hypnotic, narcotic, sedative properties. It's good stuff. Internally, it'll help with insomnia, anxiety, neurosis, hyperactivity in children, dry coughs, whooping cough, rheumatic pain. An infusion, which is a tea, can also be used. The sap. This is what I said. Next time, this spring, I'm going to cut me some, and I'm just going to eat the sap and see what it does. It says it's also been applied externally in the treatment of warts. I like black walnut for warts. It works really well, but it's black, you know, and if you've got a wart on your face, you don't want to necessarily put black walnut on your face. So maybe some wild lettuce sap and a little round Band-Aid might be better. Homeopathic remedy. Cough, swollen liver, flatulence, urinary tract, asthma, cough, insomnia, headache, pain, sore muscles, and menstrual problems. It relaxes your nervous tension, and it's safe for kids. I haven't tried giving it to animals, but children can take it. it will help loosen and expel phlegm. So, you know, if you put a little wild lettuce and mullein together in a tea, you've got a good mucinex thing going on. That'll help you get rid of stuff like that. It's a good cure for insomnia. It'll also boost lactation in lactating mothers. You can rub the latex directly into the skin to kill germs. Who knew? Okay, so that's wild lettuce. All right, so I know we're already there, but I wanted to. Oh, it has a lot more stuff, but I've got some good information on wild lettuce if you want to know more. But what I wanted to talk to you about really quickly was it's getting to be a good time of year for you to think about sprouting. All right, sprouting, let me just talk to you about it a little bit, because, you know, it's too early for most of us. I don't know where some of you live, but most of us, you know, my ground is solid. Like I can't even put my metal bars that I close my goat barn doors with, they won't even go in the ground. It's like clunk. So, hang on. Let me find where I wanted to tell you about. Next week I'm going to talk to you about something else too, hydrogen peroxide. It's an interesting one, and I think it might be a good thing for you to know about. Okay, sprouting. All right. Let me just talk to you a little bit about it, and I'll take 8 minutes, okay? 8 minutes. So, sprouting may look easy, but it needs the right technique. So when you want to sprout, there's a couple things you need to be aware of. One for sure is you need to have clean jars and clean screens and stuff. And make sure they're good and clean, because you have to realize that the water that you're using and the container you're using is acting like the dirt, okay, that they're growing in. So you don't want to have any kind of bacteria things going on, or, you know, anything funky. And you want to try to use good water. Like I told you at the beginning of the live, they are taking the fluoride out of tap water, but I don't know what else that means. I don't know what else is in the tap water. You might have to have it tested. But, you know, in the meantime, use distilled water, or use some spring water, you know, something that's got maybe a few different types of things in it, but not a lot of salt, not a lot of other stuff, okay? Sprouting tends to enhance the nutritional value of grains, legumes, and beans. The thing about sprouting is that it will inhibit those actions in your body that cause that indigestion. It's like, you know, those digestive enzymes. So it releases, you know, allows your good digestive enzymes to work, but it blocks those other things that get in there that cause intestinal gas and indigestion and that kind of stuff. So eating a sprouted diet, or even, you know, just more sprouts, really helps to curb and to do away with some of that indigestion issue. Young sprouts have 10 to 100 times the glucoraphanin, which is an enzyme that protects the body from cancer, causing all kinds of stuff. Further, it provides antioxidants and increases the activity of chlorophyll, which helps in detoxifying your body. So especially when you're doing a detox, you want to, sprouting would be a good idea. Eating a lot more sprouted grains. I'll show you what I have right now. It increases the levels of minerals and vitamins, including vitamin D. And you don't, of course, you don't have the bad, you know, added ingredients. You would just have the natural starches, the natural chlorophylls, the natural proteins. You know, alfalfa is, that's why alfalfa sprouts are, I mean, you could live on them. They are so complete. They're a very complete food. Helps in digestion, boosts your blood circulation. It'll help you with weight loss, build your immune system, also improve your eyesight because they're high in vitamin A and vitamin D, antioxidants. Very good for your heart. Sprouts have omega-3 fatty acids. You don't have to eat a sweet potato to get them, which helps in boosting good cholesterol. Omega-3 fatty acids are also anti-inflammatory. They usually contain quite a bit of good potassium, which helps reduce your blood pressure, and they're alkalinizing. So if you have an acidic system, sprouts will help balance that and bring it down to a more alkaline system, balancing your pH levels. So, high active antioxidants, which prevent premature aging. It's also known to prevent DNA destruction, healthy growth of hair, and scalp, helps prevent dandruff. There's a lot, yeah, I know why, because there's a lot of biotin in sprouts, which is a B compound, and they have biotin and B, and you know, they'll sell you shampoos that are really high in biotin to help grow hair back. So good, you know, thicker hair. So it'll help prevent premature aging of gray hair, or, you know, getting gray early. They fight cell damage, free radicals, vitamin C's, high in almost all sprouts. It's the thing that makes sprouts such an asset and such a blessing is it's the timing of the growth of the plant. You're at the very beginning, so there's a really high energy. It's a different kind of, you know, in the growth cycle, you're getting just that first energy. So it pushes out all of its nutrients and everything to help grow the plant. And you're eating them at that stage. Does that make sense? Instead of letting the plant grow and, you know, take more of the nutrients to get bigger and stuff, you're going to eat it when it's young and it's power packed. That's the best way I could describe it. But that's what makes sprouting. It also contains silica, which is a good thing for your skin. Okay, so how do you do it? Well, you get some good sprouting seeds. I have alfalfa. This one I'm excited about. It's a clover mix. And what you do, I've got 3 jars here. This is my clover seeds. I'm soaking them. So you want to clean your jars, and then you want to soak your seeds for anywhere from 4 to 12 hours, depending on how big they are. I think these have been soaking all day, so I will probably drain them and rinse them. So what you do is after you've soaked them, for like I said, you could do it overnight, put them in a soak, and then in the morning, you drain them. You run clear water through, you drain that, and then you invert the jar. And I just put them in my dish drainer and cover them with a dish towel so they're in the dark. And you'll need to do that for probably 3 days, maybe 4, depending on the seeds. I've got black oil sunflower seeds. My dog loves these. I have to fight her for them. But these will sprout and fill up this jar, pretty much. You can also sprout them really easily on, like, you know, those big plastic tubs. I like to use the lid off of a tub. It's about that deep. And just put a layer of good soil, or even not so good, and wet it, get it wet, and then just lay your sunflower seeds on there. Cover it with a tiny little bit of dirt, or none. I have oftentimes just used paper towels. I put paper towels on top of it and sprayed the paper towels and kept them moist. And then I put them, in a dark place for 3 or 4 days until they sprout. Then you can bring them out in the light if you want to. But you can do it that way too. I do that with wheatgrass. That's how I do wheatgrass. Because then, literally, after I've cut that wheatgrass twice and juiced it, I've got sod. So I just take that whole chunk of dirt and go out and put it in my yard. Okay. Then this one is alfalfa. And this whole jar will be filled up with alfalfa sprouts in about 3 days. So, I'm recommending that you start sprouting some seeds and you get some good springtime nutrition going. Get ahead of the game. Something you can do in the house. You don't have to dig in the dirt right now. And I don't know about you, but I couldn't if I wanted to. It is so hard and cold outside still. But this is a good way for you to jumpstart your immune system and get some good nutrition going. And again, it's something that you can control. Okay? We don't really know about what's in the stores. And there's some changes taking place. I know that Robert Kennedy said the shelves will be empty for a while because they're taking all the bad foods off the shelves and they're going to replace it with good food. Well, that's okay. I'm good with that. Like, really good with that. But in the meantime, you still need nutrition. So, get you some Tulsi tea and go get some seeds. Don't have to have a lot of different ones, but sprout and take care of your own nutritional needs until such time that things roll out and are better for us. Or spring comes, one or the other, where we can start to grow our own things. So anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this one. It's been good. And I really am so excited about the fact that God showed me about the Tulsi, because I like it when that happens. I mean, there's always good things to talk about. I can always find good things to talk about, but I really like it when it's special, So, if you're late getting into this this session, you can go back on Facebook and watch it again. In a day or two, it will be uploaded to the Crooked House YouTube channel, so you can always access it there as well. If you need me, Wendy at crookedhouseherbals.com, or Facebook message me at crookedhouseherbals.com, or if you have my phone number, you're welcome to text me or call me. All right, guys. Love you. I pray you have a wonderful weekend. And if you are interested, you can always go to the Crooked House Herbals webpage and look up any of those products that I was telling you about. The Sensational Sinus Spray, or the Lemon Bliss Spray, or my eye drops, Evercare Eye Clear. We've got, I have Tulsi tincture on my website. I've got, different things. So I've got wild lettuce tincture on my website. So if there's some things that I have that you want to go ahead and get. Oh, what's the question? How do you store the sprouts? After you've drained them and washed them for the last time, I just keep them in my jar, and I put them, or, you can put them in a different container, maybe one with a plastic lid, and just put them in the fridge. And I sprout wheat. Yes, I sprout wheat all the time. I make wheatgrass, little wheatgrass shots. Man, that is powerful. And it's easy. Like I said, the way I like to do wheatgrass is with the tub lid with some dirt, because then you can get 2 cuttings out of that, and then you can put it in your yard like sod. It's awesome. So, anybody else have any other questions? I should look. I'm sorry, I'm really not really great at this. Okay. I think I'm okay now. All right, guys. Thank you for watching. Thanks for coming and meeting with me this week. And we all know that nature heals us best. So let's keep going. Things are looking up. And like I said, I'm so excited about the fact that I don't have a headache now. I'm going to go to bed without a headache tonight. So I'm looking forward to that. And you guys have a great weekend. I'll see you next week. God bless. Bye. Miss you too.